Welcome to Friend Film Me. Make sure to subscribe our channel for top unique movie list. Some directors don't believe in God. For that reason they make movie against God that force to ask, question us about the existence of God. So here is the list of top 10 movies against God that available on Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube. Some movie also dubbed in Hindi. 10. Crimes and Misdemeanors 1989. Crimes and Misdemeanors can be seen as an examination of the meaning of life and a search for morality in the absence of God, a subject addressed throughout the film. It's difficult to go too into depth in this examination without spoiling the film, but I believe the following quote from the final scene, taken from the philosopher Ellen's character admires, finally sums up the ambiance of the entire movie. 9. Letting Go of God 2008. Julia Sweeney's account of her own search for God, which led to her conversion to atheism, is an honest, sweet, funny, and moving story of how reason and rationality can overcome even the strictest religious upbringing. It's not overly hostile or condescending toward religion or the religious, and it gets its message through loud and clear. If nothing else, this film is a great inspiration for any atheists who are in the closet and terrified of what will happen if they ever come out. On a side note, this monologue impressed and inspired world-renowned atheist biologist Richard Dawkins so much that he referenced it several times in his best-selling book The God Delusion. 8. Inherit the Wind 1960. While on its surface, Inherit the Wind may appear merely as a battle between creationism versus evolution, but the real battle is between knowledge versus repression of knowledge. In this case, due to contradicting religious belief, the film's protagonist, defense attorney Henry Drummond Spencer Tracy, is an avowed agnostic with a vendetta against the closed-minded ignorance which religion has the tendency to spread. When he is asked if he finds anything holy, Drummond replies, and quote, "The individual human mind. In a child's ability to master the multiplication table there is more holiness than all your shouted hosannas in Holy of Holies," and quote. 7. The Sunset Limited 2011. While in the end The Sunset Limited gives no answers, neither character of the atheist nor the theist wins the debate, and winking face. The topics they hit on are still extremely relevant and thought-provoking to those interested in the subject of religion and life's meaning. Other than the stereotype of the depressed, intellectual, and suicidal atheist, the film handles the strain between atheism and theism in a fair way while making no major generalizations in either direction and never taking sides. You simply watch and listen as two men have a verbal boxing match, and in the end you come to your own conclusions about what you just witnessed. 6. Whatever Works 2009. Through his characters, director Woody Allen has always managed to bring a keen sense of wit and rationality into his movies, and he's never once hesitated to openly address and question the absurdities associated with religion and the religious. But it was with 2009's Whatever Works that he really went all out. 5. Marjo 1972. Along with actual interviews where Gortner admits his non-belief and explains how he uses manipulation to swindle people out of their money, the film is also interspersed with scenes from actual revival meetings where we see Gortner preach and pray for people who genuinely believe what he says. 4. Contact 1997. Many atheists have complained about how much leeway religion gets in the film and how certain portions of it seem to present atheism as a sort of faith-based religion similar to that of any religion. While these assertions may not be completely without merit, they do ignore the more positive aspects of how atheism is presented in this fun and fascinating film. 3. Monty Python's Life of Brian 1979. The old credo, and quote, "The more seriously people take things, the more potential there is for comedy," and quote, was never more true than with Monty Python's Life of Brian. The film takes a hilarious look at the very viral nature of memes and belief we watch as an ordinary man is confused as being the Messiah, and how that belief spreads from person to person until eventually the man has mobs of followers. 2. The Seventh Seal, 1957. Set during the Black Plague in the 14th century, when death was always around the corner and people had no other choice but to confront it on a daily basis, The Seventh Seal is a largely allegorical film which asks the questions one has when faced with their own mortality. 1. The Man from Earth, 2007. Containing no action scenes, no sex, no swearing, and with the only setting of the entire film being John Oldman's home, and mostly one room of the home, The Man from Earth manages to fascinate through the use of nothing more than deep intellectual discussions pertaining to history, religion, and how myths are made. That being said, I'll admittedly agree that a movie about a room full of people sitting around discussing heavy topics doesn't sound like the most thrilling of pictures. But this movie really packs a punch and sparks the thought process in a clear, non-condescending way like nearly none other I've ever seen before, and I'm not just saying that. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe our channel for top unique movie lists.